everybody, I'm Matthew Dillner, and this is NASCAR.com GarageCam, presented by Mobile One, live from Michigan International Michigan International Speedway, and bringing you behind the scenes in the garage area. Cole Witt walking by, but hey, this is our co-host this weekend. Check this out, William Byron, who just signed with Hendrick Motorsports, Junior Motorsports, of course, driving in the truck series for KBM. Co-host, man.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty cool. It's going to be fun walking around the garage and seeing some of what these guys are doing to get ready for practice.
All right, bud, let's go take a stroll. Of course, five-time winner this year is William Byron in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Quite a rookie season you had, man. It's loud in this garage, but if you, in your wildest dreams, did you ever think you'd be opening up your rookie season in the Camping World Truck Series with 5 wins, dude?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's been a great year for us. We're just looking forward to this weekend at Michigan, trying to get another win. So hopefully we can get practice going here in a couple hours and have a good time and maybe learn some stuff from what these guys are doing coming up.
All right here we've got Brian Scott. Speaking of rookies, you see the yellow stripe on the back of the Twisted T number 44. Trey Tomeno and the boys there working on the number 7 car. Regan Smith, the Tommy Baldwin Racing entry, and you see that short spoiler right there. That low downforce package that we debuted here in Michigan last time we were here. What do you think about that, man? You know, taking the downforce out of these race cars, William, definitely puts the onus back on the drivers. Less mechanical grip, less aero grip there, and you really have to drive the thing.
Yeah, it's different. It's a lot less downforce than what these guys are used to, and they're probably a handful to drive from what they look like. So, but they look cool, and they definitely go fast. I think they go faster down the straightaway now with less downforce. So it's pretty neat. They're gonna be hauling the mail into turn 1 at Michigan.
Now this is a big week for NASCAR. Okay, we have Kids Drive NASCAR, AccelerationNation.com. The big push basically is kids are going back to school, and we want to do things to get more kids involved in the sport of NASCAR. And what better way to do that than to have you on NASCAR.com, because you're going back to school, man. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I'm going to Liberty, actually. I moved in yesterday, so I'm living in a dorm, got a roommate, everything. He's a Broncos fan.
That's not good.
That's not good for me because I'm a Panthers fan, so I have to cover everything up. But he'll be cool, and I'm looking forward to it. So it's going to be a different deal balancing that with school and racing, but I'm looking forward to it.
You know, as a young guy yourself, okay,
yeah.
How awesome is it to see NASCAR putting such effort into to you know, the younger folk, the kids.
Yeah.
You know, that big announcement that next year the Camping World Trucks and Xfinity Series, kids are going to get in free for those races.
Yeah, I mean, I know growing up as a kid watching the races, that was important to be able to go to the race, and it was always expensive, so it's neat that they can go for free now, and that's something that I would have loved if I was a kid. So now you can just show up at the race and be a race fan and get to know the drivers and kind of pick out your favorite ones. So I think that's a really neat part of the sport now.
Now this is a sport that if you get a young kid, you know, interested in it, I mean, they get hooked. I know myself, I got hooked at Islip Speedway as a kid. Guys like Charlie Drzańbeck and Robin Vollmuller, short trackers. How did you get hooked on racing? Because your story is a lot different.
Yeah, I mean, I was hooked when I was a kid. I was 6 years old, went to my first race in Martinsville, and then after that I was watching races as a kid. And
what hooked you that first time?
Just the speed of it and just the excitement, the amount of drivers that were out there, the competition. I kind of picked out my favorite drivers and started to watch them, so I had something to watch and listen to on the radio. And the intensity of the restarts and everything was totally different for me. So it was different than any other sport, which made it good for me.
Awesome, awesome. And right here, getting into this garage area and showing you inside this garage. Who's the first in chat? Do we have that on the tablet? We have our Sprint tablet here that Matthew Strickert is monitoring right there. Monitoring the chat room and seeing all you good folks. David Homa. Hey, Matt. How about my favorite driver, Brad Kay, please? Yeah, we'll get that for sure. Rolling out the number 95 here right now, and Michael McDowell is the name on the roof of that car, and McDowell will be driving this car on Sunday, but filling in Friday and Saturday in this number 95 Thrivent Financial Chevrolet will be Sam Hornish. Sam Hornish, of course, with the NASCAR Xfinity Series win this year, has been running some. And a great opportunity to see Sam back in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series stock car, helping McDowell pull the double, getting this car tuned in and ready to go. So when McDowell gets done over there in Road America and he comes back here on Sunday, he can hop in the car and hopefully the feedback works between Sam and the crew and they get them all dialed in for Sunday's race. Feverish work being done right now in the garage area. Dax underneath this car, Bill Mars and the boys here on the Geico Chevrolet. And then right next door, the number 43, Eric Amarola, Smithfield, fueled by bacon. William, this is when things just start to fire up. Everybody's getting the cars finally off of scale pads here and getting these things turned around and ready to go here for practice number 1. Of course, all practices are important, but, you know, as a driver, you know, that first practice is always just something totally different because you don't know what you got coming off the trailer.
No, I mean, that's definitely the key, is getting your stuff right off the truck. And with the new downforce package, they're going to definitely have a lot of questions to be answered, so it's going to be neat.
Hey, check out this guy, Sam Hornish right here. Sam, good to see you back here in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. And yeah, we're giving you the microphone. This could be dangerous.
Okay.
All right, live on GarageCam, man. A big opportunity for you helping out Michael.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to be able to, you know, have the ability to come and help out Michael, and you know, being that we were basically teammates on the 2 car over at RCR and the affiliation that they have over here on the 95. So being able to go out there, qualify the car, run practice. Hopefully, I do a good job. I haven't been a Cup car for a long time. New aero package, and but at one of my favorite places. I always love coming up here to Michigan. Short drive from the house this morning, and even got to take the kids to school. So it's been a good day so far.
Hey, we were just talking about kids because this week, kids drive NASCAR. And
I thought they drive all the time.
Acceleration Nation going on. They made the announcement that kids next year at Xfinity races and truck races will get in for free. You know, how important is that in getting these kids into racing at an early age?
Well, I think it's great, you know, especially for the family dynamic that might have a couple of kids, and you look at the expense that it would cost to be able to bring 2 or 3 kids out to the track, for the families to be able to get their kids out here, because that's really what it takes to have that opportunity, you know, to grow the fan base, is getting the next generation out at the racetrack.
All right, and we have one of our, well, let's just call him a kid right here, William Byron, co-hosting the show. What advice would you give a young driver like William going into maybe his first Xfinity season next year?
I might ask him for some advice the way he's been running this year, but you know, that's definitely great to see how he's been able to get into that truck and to go out there and run well. The Xfinity Series is just, you know, another step up of the competition level, you know, and what it takes, you know, to run good, and, you know, being able to come back from pit road penalties is probably, you know, the next step of what is one of the difficulty things. And then as you go to Cup, it's an even bigger step, you know, so it's just honing that, getting a little bit more competition. And if he just continues to do what he's doing, it'll be okay.
All right, Sam Hornish, you continue to do what you're doing. Great to see you back in our garage here. Sam Hornish from Defiance, Ohio, former Indy 500 winner and one heck of a talented race car driver. Great to see him back in our garage. Paul Menard. Getting these tires ready. Same right side codes that we ran here the last time we were here. A multi-zone Goodyear tire, ready to go on the right sides. Greg Biffle, one of the best driver ratings when we come here to Michigan is Greg Biffle, and he could use a little of that home cooking this year because, quite frankly, this 14, the number 16, hasn't had the greatest year. And Biffle, this is a track that he's very comfortable with, has wins here. So Danica Patrick, her top finish 13th here, still doesn't best Janet Guthrie's 1969 10th place finish here at the Michigan International Speedway, but the Aspen Dental car is ready to go. They're going to roll this thing out. All right, William Byron, obviously the goal is, and you can't run before you walk, but obviously the goal is someday to be over here in the Cup Series, and Man, I don't know. Maybe we'll be interviewing you on GarageCam.
That'd be crazy. I think just kind of keep doing what I'm doing in the trucks and hopefully have a good rest of the year there. But it's neat to see all these teams and what they're working on. So it's definitely jam-packed in here. There's a lot of people going to work. So it's gonna be an exciting practice session coming up.
And the resources. You look at some of these super teams over here that have so many resources. 4 teams like Hendrick Motorsports, which is now you are affiliated with Hendrick Motorsports. How much confidence does that bring you coming to an organization like that?
Yeah, I mean they have a lot of good things going on right now, and a lot of these teams do. So everyone's working hard, and they're working just as hard. So it's neat to be a part of that organization and start to learn some of the things that they do that make them successful. And like we're seeing the 31 car here, and Ryan Newman, Jamie McMurray, those guys have been running well lately.
And then the number 88 alongside, probably the favorite paint scheme of the weekend for people up here in the great state of Michigan, the Wolverine paint scheme, the University of Michigan on Dale Jr.'s ride that will be driven this weekend by Alex Bowman, the Arizona native, getting another shot. He fared pretty well, maybe not the finish he wanted to in New Hampshire, but Alex Bowman has experience here, of course, in the Cup Series, in the Xfinity Series, so a great chance for a young driver.
Absolutely, he did a good job in New Hampshire, so he's gonna be good this weekend.
What about this paint scheme, man? It's pretty cool, huh?
That's really neat.
And of course, alongside the Mobil 1 colors for Tony Stewart, proud sponsor of our show, Virginia Wright. Smoke, please. Who got the pole position? I want to know. DRL 14 fan, early lunch 14. David Homa, you got the pole position. David Homa, the first person in today's interactive chat. That's our little chat room. If you're new to the show and you're looking at the 6 car right here and you're watching it live, click on that white bubble right there and you'll see the chat room. Pop in, sign in, tell us who you are, where you're from, and what you want to see today on NASCAR.com. We'll have another GarageCam show set for you a little later today as well at 1 o'clock in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series garage. Kyle Larson's machine, the number 5 Farmers Racing entry of Casey Kane, and this team still struggling, still has yet to lead a lap in the 2016 season. The number 47 of AJ Allmendinger. These are some of your bubble guys on the outside looking in. The number 21 of Ryan Blaney. You know, this is a place where Blaney has some experience. He has a few Cup starts here, has a handful of truck starts. So you look at that rookie stripe on the back of this number 21. It's not exactly a rookie when it comes to Michigan International Speedway. The Wood brothers typically, when they're running part-time, would field a car here at Michigan. So Blaney with some good experience at this track, not just in June, but here in the past as well.
Yeah, I think he finished second last year in the truck race, so he's had a lot of good experience there, and he's definitely a good favorite this weekend. They want to get a win here to get in the chase, so they're gonna be trying for it for sure. And he had some good speed at Bristol.
Yes, he did. And another Truck Series graduate right there with Ryan Blaney and William Byron. Your truck season has been something else, and how relieving is it to, in the first year of the Truck Series, having that chase, that you're not on the bubble like some of these guys, because I'll tell you what, that's some pressure.
Yeah, it's definitely some pressure for some of those guys, and everyone's working hard to make sure they can get in the chase. Over on the Cup side, it's a lot harder to make it. So everyone's doing the best they can.
Can you put this in perspective for me?
Yeah.
A few years ago, we've talked about this before on NASCAR.com on our Dirty Air show. A few years ago, you weren't even racing a race car. Fast forward now, you're going to Liberty University. You just signed with Hendrick Motorsports and Junior Motorsports. Is it when you look back at that, you're like, wow, how did this happen?
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, I've just been fortunate to have those opportunities and now get to this point and now be able to succeed with it. So I'm just lucky to be a part of it and trying to learn as much as I can. It's cool to come around the Cup Garage and be able to learn some stuff of what they're doing before they get ready for practice in the weekend. And it's jam-packed over here, so so is our garage, and everyone's doing the best they can and trying to make sure they're ready. And this is a neat racetrack because it's so big. So this is probably going to be one of the bigger racetracks I've ever been to, and I'm looking forward to that this weekend too.
All right, on our chat right now, Louis D. Donato, you wanted to see the number 24 of Chase Elliott. There is that number 24 Chevrolet. Back outside here, it's loud. These teams are making final preparations on the cars and tuning the engines. S.J. Golembeski here doing some tire notes, getting ready with the 3 team of Austin Dillon, secured right now. If the season ended right now, this number 3 team would be in the chase. Slugger Labby and the boys working on this car. And there's the number 20 of Matt Kenseth. Slugger needed to get by. I got a little goose. And over here, one-time winner here at Michigan International Speedway, and Jimmy Johnson, the Lowe's Chevrolet. Is that Matt Kenseth? We dancing? That was the robot. I don't know what that was. Quite a move there. Did you know that Kenseth has moves? This could be your future teammate, by the way.
I know. Yeah, he's the man right now. So he's always the man. So it's pretty cool to be watching what they're doing, and that 48 always looks good.
Of course, led by Chad Knaus, legendary crew chief. Over here, the number 78 of Martin Truex Jr. One of the worst of the top 10 drivers as far as driver rating here at Michigan. And, you know, you look at that and you know what? Throw it away. It's Martin Truex Jr. He's the stat buster. Half the stats you could ever look up on Martin Truex Jr., just throw them away. They don't matter. What's up, man? Here's the number 11 of Denny Hamlin, FedEx Office Toyota. Attaboy NASCAR. That's a good screen name. I like that. Wants to see, hey, there's Martin Truex Jr. Wants to see the number 11 of Denny Hamlin.
That digital dash looks pretty cool.
It sure does.
It doesn't look like ours, but ours is a little bit out of date, but it's pretty neat to see that.
Here's the number 22 of Joey Logano. Maybe, William, maybe we can come in here and talk to Joey Logano. And there is Joey Logano taking a swig here. Hi, man. What's up? How you doing? Hey, what? William's got the mic here, but all right, Michigan, man. Last time we were here, it was like sweep so. You had the broom out, man.
Well, yeah. Well, I got to do that. Well, I didn't really sweep the weekend. I didn't win the Xfinity race.
No,
But we had the pole in the win. That part's good.
Yeah.
I'd like to sweep like the year here, like
Just
Sprint
need a
Cup,
bigger-
both Sprint Cup races. That'd be really cool.
That'd be cool. You need a bigger broom is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get like one of those floor Zambonis if we do that.
A Zamboni, not a broom. All right, man. Hey, we got our friend William Byron
I
co-hosting
know,
with
it's
us
big
today.
time now. He signed up a Hendrick. I've seen it all over TV last week.
I don't know if it's a big time thing or the fact that he's co-hosting GarageCam. That might be a demotion.
Now is big time, yeah. Before,
That's a
I was
demotion.
just yelling when that motor shut off.
No, we can hear you,
I
Joey.
know, but
Hi.
now you've really made it now that you're with Matt Dillner on GarageCam. They
Yeah,
don't get
I
any
feel
better.
bad for this kid.
Me too.
All right. Joey, have a great day there. Joey Logano, having some fun. Always having some fun. That dude's always laughing.
Yeah.
There's Cheddar enjoying a nice peach before practice here. Hey, Cheddar's feeling peachy. That was some bad humor. Okay, this is my favorite place to stand at hot racetracks. Have you ever figured out that strategy?
What,
Like
right in the middle?
Right now, you've got the fan right there, so it feels really good.
Oh, yeah.
Then you get that fan going. It's the hot
Yeah.
setup.
These garages feel pretty good right now.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
there's a lot of air movement going on.
A little bit different than the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series garage over there. Over there you have open
We're
air. It's kind
out
of
in the
old
open.
school. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
out in the open. Let's go over here to the number 19 car getting worked on. Krista Burrell, Carl Edwards, please. That is your favorite driver and your favorite driver's surfboard cable modems. Number 19 is being worked on, and a few final turns of the wrench to it, and dropping her off the scale pads and getting her pointed in the right direction for this Aris team.
It looks like they're ready to go. Everyone's excited. A lot of calm down for a minute. It's like the eye of the storm.
That'll happen usually right before we go.
Right before they get going 200 miles an hour.
And here's the funny part too. I don't know how much cup practice you get to watch, William, and it's kind of the same over there in the truck series, but it's a little more exaggerated here. One of my favorite things to do, if I have time, the first practice is to watch these cars roll on the track right when GarageCam starts. Because they don't go out there like at a short track and take a half a lap scrubbing the tires and seeing what it feels like. They're hammered
First
down.
corner,
by the time,
they're wide open.
Yeah, by
It's
the time they
crazy.
hit turn 3, Jimmy Johnson's wide open.
Yeah, that's what we do too. I mean, we're the start of practice, we go right at it. I mean, the tires, everything's up to temperature enough, and we go for it. So it's different than a short track, like you said. You go right away because you don't have that much time, and you got to make sure you get the most out of the tires early in the run too.
What do you think of you guys' chances this weekend at number 9? We're going to get this question out of the way, so maybe I don't have to talk to you in GarageCam and trucks.
Sure. I mean, I think our chances are really good. I think we've been really strong on the 1.5 mile tracks, and we won at Pocono, so hopefully that translates. I know they're the same. Pocono and this place are pretty similar distance, but this place is totally different. The draft is really important, so hopefully we can have a good weekend and try and lead some laps.
All right, on our mobile tablet here in the chat room, Interactive Garage, Jesse Kovacs chiming in and saying, Matt, ask William, has iRacing helped you be a better race car driver, and how?
Absolutely. I think iRacing's definitely helped me. It's helped me learn some of these racetracks that we go to and know what it's going to be like when I hit the racetrack. So it gives me a perspective on the sport, and I think now that I'm into the competition like I am in the truck series, I don't use it as much, but when I was a kid, I definitely was using it to get used to how to drive a race car.
There's nothing ever like being in the seat, though, because I'll tell you this, you can learn pickup points as far as your throttle, your steering input and whatnot, but there's nothing ever that replaces that sensation in the seat of your pants of being in a race car.
Not at all. I mean, being in a race car is totally different than being on the computer, but it did help me when I was a kid for sure. And now that I'm getting into a race car and going 200 miles an hour, it's a little bit different. It's hard to compare, but it helped me.
All right, now it gets really quiet again. Let's pop on over. Let's see if we can see some race car drivers and maybe get a word with one last person here before we go green on this practice session. I believe we get about 5-6 minutes left. Murphy right here playing the role of the bodyguard or bouncer of the number 4 pit area of Kevin Harvick, Stuart Haas Racing. Man, we really flew through this garage. Usually we struggle flying through the garage here. Kyle Busch. That number 18. Interstate Batteries ride. William Byron's boss man. You want to go interview the boss? Put you on the spot?
He's probably busy right now. He's about to get in, but he's focused.
Oh, that Kyle Busch game face. Holding court at the back of the 18 Interstate Batteries Toyota. And you see the 4 win stickers on the back of this car for Kyle Busch. what a season so far between here in the Xfinity Series for Kyle.
He's had a heck of a year. It's pretty awesome.
How much have you been able to draw in your year here at KBM?
Oh yeah,
from the experience level. What sort of things have you learned?
Yeah, Kyle's done a ton for us. He coaches us a lot and texts back and forth. So he's so good at what he does, and he's been really good in the Cup car. So you know, we try and learn as much as we can. It's really important.
What type of stuff has he given you some advice on specifically that has been able to help you? Because I know a lot of young drivers, when they come here, they struggle with things from the radial tire, which is a different feel, to things like you know, the aerodynamics when you're out alongside another truck.
Yeah, I mean, the aero stuff, he coached us a lot on that, going to my first mile and a half at Atlanta, and then getting ready for some of the races that we've had lately. He's helped me with Michigan things, and I can text him any questions I have on the race car and try and get advice from him. So he's a really good asset for me.
Always pays to have the defending NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion on your side there. William's also learning that we have hand signals here, NASCAR.com. Since this is a live streaming show, we basically rely on a bunch of hand signals to communicate here during the show. I wasn't telling you to steal second base or anything like that, or, you know, it's just all sorts of weird hand signals that go on. Buzz and the boys here with the Matt Kenseth ride getting going. Austin Dillon's number 3, the Cheerios paint scheme this weekend. Some new paint schemes. You can always check out Paint Scheme Preview on NASCAR.com each and every week. This week, of course, featuring that Alex Bowman, number 88, University of Michigan car. Now that is the best goatee in the garage. That would be more like the bouncer of the garage right there. There's a guy you don't want to mess with. Carl Edwards, number 19, getting some tape on the front nose of this number 19. Got some sticker tires on this car, ready to go. Of course, so much is talked about aerodynamics and different setups, whether you're running a qualifying trim setup right out of the gate or you're going out there and run a race trim. But, you know, the airflow in these race cars make them so sensitive, whether they have grip in the front end, you want them to run full to temperature. So, so sensitive is the front end of these race cars. There's Jimmy Johnson. And there's Jimmy Johnson signing some autographs. Man, a throng of people here around the number 48 driver as we get ready. Maybe we'll set a pick for him. Taking time to sign for so many fans here is Jimmy Johnson here, and of course a big weekend here in NASCAR with kids driving NASCAR. And we've been talking about it all weekend long. How important is it to get kids involved in a young age in interest in NASCAR?
Man, it's everything. It's something I've always been focused on, and we've been doing a ticket package at tracks for quite a few years now to help with families and get kids out here. And I'm interested because of my own experience. I fell in love with the sport out of my dad being a fan. We raced dirt bikes, but we never raced cars, didn't have the money to race cars. So my dad was a big fan, drugged me all around the West Coast watching races. And I'm very happy NASCAR is doing what they are and get more kids to the track. Watch out behind you.
Jimmy Johnson's dad, Gary Johnson, got him involved at a young age, and that's all it takes sometimes is to get a kid out to the racetrack. William Byron, thanks for joining us on NASCAR.com, man.
Appreciate it, man.
How'd you like the ride here?
It was fun. It was fun. These guys are busy, so we'll let them get to work and see what they do in practice.
All right, William Byron, we appreciate you joining us on NASCAR.com. I'm your host, Matthew Dillner. Make sure you tune in 1 o'clock today for NASCAR Camping World Truck Series GarageCam. And until next time, we'll see you at the races.